Over the past 5 to 6 years, we have seen the 400-meter hurdles completely change on both the men's and the women's side, where the women have seen Dalilah Muhammad, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, as well as Femke Bol completely shift the event and take it to new heights, with Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone and Femke Bol both running 50 seconds, as well as Dalilah Muhammad running 51 seconds along with them. On the men's side, we've seen Karsten Warholm, Rai Benjamin, and Alison Dos Santos also push the bounds of what's possible in that event, with Karsten Warholm running 45 seconds, Rai Benjamin running 46.1, and Alison Dos Santos running 46.2. All of them surpassing and really pushing way back Kevin Young's world record from back in 1992. And it seems like in 2025, this momentum is going to continue to move further and further and bring a few athletes along with them as these 3 athletes in each event actually continue to push things forward. Now, let's first talk about the women, where Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone is of course the world record holder, having run 50.37 seconds at the Olympic Games in Paris last year. This came on the heels of her running 50.65 at the Olympic trials last year, and of course the really legendary 50.68 all the way back in 2022, a mark when she actually did run it that many people thought was absolutely impossible. But she's been able to drag along Femke Bol, who's run 50.95, as well as 51.30 to complement the performances that she's run in the 51s and the 52s. Dalilah Muhammad has run a best of 51.58 when she got the silver medal behind Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone in 2021 at the Olympics. But prior to that, she broke the world record on 2 occasions in 2019, running 52.20 and 52.16 seconds, breaking a world record that had stood for over 15 years at that point. These 3 women have really shifted the landscape and brought a few other women along with them as they've pushed the boundaries of things. Anna Cockrell has dipped into the 51-second barrier, ran 51.8 last year when she got the silver medal at the Olympic Games. Jasmine Jones has run 52.29 seconds. Shamir Little has run 52.3. Savannah Sutherland, 52.4. Rochelle Clayton, 52.5. And the names go on and on and on. And I think because of how many times Femke Bol as well as Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone have been able to run 51 seconds as well as 50 seconds respectively, that it really has started to dilute what a 52-second mark really is. And we might be taking a performance like that for granted, even though all time it truly is something special. We're talking about less than 30 women having broke the 53-second barrier all time in the history of the event, and only 4 women have actually gone under the 52-second barrier. So there really is something special to say when an athlete runs 52 seconds. Just last year, we saw Rochelle Clayton, who was a 2-time World Championship bronze medalist from 2019 and from 2023. She stepped things up and ran 52.5 seconds last year before she went on to the Olympic Games. You also had Anna Cockrell, who had made it to the Olympic Games, who had made it to the World Championships, finally get on the podium for the first time last year and dip under the 52-second barrier while being dragged by Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone's world record of 50.37 seconds. These performances are continuing to occur year after year despite these women continuing to separate themselves. Already in 2025, we've seen Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone run a season's best of 52.07 seconds all the way up in early May. Femke Bol just this weekend in Stockholm ran 52.13 seconds for her season's best, but Dalilah Muhammad, in my opinion, might have had the best performance of the 2025 season thus far, running a best of 52.91 seconds. Now, this is not one of the best times of the year. We've already seen both Sydney, Femke, as well as Savannah Sutherland surpass that mark, Savannah running 52.46. But Dalilah Muhammad's 52.91 is not only the 8th fastest time of her career, it's not only the fastest time that she's run since 2021, but it also breaks the women's 35 age group masters world record in the 400-meter hurdles, taking down the previous world record held by Marina Stepanova, set all the way back in 1986 with a 52.94 second mark. This was an amazing moment for Dalilah Muhammad, as she's currently on a retirement tour, as after the 2025 season, she said that she's going to be retiring from track and field. And this is going to cap off what has been an amazing career, where she arguably has been the catalyst for this momentum in the women's 400-meter hurdles. Having broke that world record the first time in 2019, doing it 2 times that year, and also pushing Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone over the next couple years in both 2021 and 2022. Remember, Tokyo, she got the silver medal and was arguably ahead of Sydney coming off that final hurdle. So literally and figuratively, it's pushing Sydney and Femke to these amazing performances that we do see. What's also important is that Dalilah Muhammad first broke the 53-second barrier all the way back in 2016 at the US Olympic trials, running 52.88 seconds. This gives her now 9 years between her first and most recent time that she's broken the 53-second barrier. This is by far longer than any other athlete. And let me be clear, not saying she's run 52 seconds every single consecutive year, just saying the first time and the most recent time that she's run under 53 seconds has been 9 years. This surpasses the likes of Shamir Little, Sadie McLaughlin-Levrone, Femke Bol, Kim Batten, Melaine Walker, and other women who have done it either 7 years or less in their careers. So Dalilah Muhammad really displaying some consistency and dominance that really has not been seen in the event for a long time. And of course, there's almost levels to dominance where Sadie McLaughlin-Levrone is the GOAT of the 400-meter hurdles, but Dalilah Muhammad and her longevity is really unmatched at this point. The first time she got a medal was in 2013 at the Moscow World Championships when she got a silver medal in the 400-meter hurdles. The last time she got a medal was in 2022 when she got bronze at those World Championships, almost a decade apart. And now she's looking like she might be on pace to actually go to the World Championships and challenge for a podium spot. It's going to be very competitive, but Dalilah is in some great form. But this should not take away from any of the other women. Anna Cockrell just won Grand Slam track in Philly. She's already run 53 seconds this year, coming off what she did last year at the Olympics. Jasmine Jones, she sat out due to injury for the better part of this entire year. Came to Grand Slam track Philly, ran a very strong 400-meter hurdle and 400-meter race, becoming the slam champion there. Savannah Sutherland, NCAA champion, 52.46. Sadie McLaughlin-Levrone, the GOAT of the 4 hurdles. Femke Bol, number 2 all-time and the defending world champion. Rochelle Clayton, 2-time world championship bronze medalist. All these women are very much going to be fighting for spots on the US side to the world championships, and then of course in Tokyo for those podium spots at the world championships. It's going to be very exciting, but it just looks like we are non-stop on go when it comes to the progression of the hurdles. On the men's side, the same thing is occurring. Rai Benjamin, Karsten Warholm, Alison Dos Santos consistently are trading places when it comes to winning and losing and running all-time marks. Rai Benjamin just ran 46.54 seconds in the 400-meter hurdles to win the Stockholm Diamond League, ahead of Alison Dos Santos, who ran 46.68 seconds. Rai Benjamin's mark is the 10th fastest performance in the history of the event, where Alison Dos Santos' mark is the 15th fastest performance in the history of the event. And like I said, Karsten Warholm, he already has the world record. This year, he's already run 47 seconds. He is, of course, going to be building up momentum as he gets to the World Championships. We look at Kevin Young's mark of 46.78, set all the way back in 1992 at the Olympic Games, which was a world record that stood for almost 29 years until 2021. That now sits at number 21 all time in the history of the 400-meter hurdles, only surpassed by these 3 guys, Karsten Warholm, Rai Benjamin, and Alison Dos Santos. These guys are really pushing the bounds of what's possible in the event, and they are showing no signs of slowing up. Someone like Karsten Warholm has been here for almost a full decade, winning global medals. He was the world champion in 2017, and still, just last year, he was an Olympic silver medalist. Alison Dos Santos, 2-time Olympic bronze medalist from 2021 and 2024, also got the world gold in 2022. Rai Benjamin, Olympic gold medalist from last year, silver medalist from 2021, and a bunch of medals in between then at the World Championships. These guys are redefining what it means to be 400-meter hurdlers, going back and forth, pushing the bounds, and they realize that there is no letting up, or one of the other guys are going to step things up and surpass them, whether it's literally in terms of actually on the track in a race or figuratively in terms of accomplishments going forward. This is really exciting, and like I said, they are pulling guys behind them across the board. You're talking about Abdurrahman Samba, who arguably started this progression with his 46.98 all the way back in 2019. But then you also have Cameron McMaster, who's run 47.08. You have Caleb Dean, who's run 47.23. Rashawn Clark, who's run 47.34. So many guys are in this conversation and are young, are rising, developing, and are looking to continue to push the bounds, potentially get under that 47-second barrier, and maybe challenge the big 3 that we know them as now. Like I said, someone like Karsten Warholm, he's actually been here for almost a decade at this point and has no signs of slowing up. But even if he does start to slow up, Rai Benjamin is a little bit younger and is going to continue on. Alison Dos Santos is actually significantly younger and is going to continue on. So it's going to be tough for anyone to really break through, but the energy, the momentum, the push that all these guys are bringing to the event, just like the women, this is something that is unparalleled in history when talking about the 400-meter hurdles, and it's really an understatement to say that we are living in a true golden age for both the men's and the women's 400-meter hurdles, and it looks like it is not slowing up at any point soon. So let me know what you think about these 400-meter hurdles on both the men's and the women's side. I'm really amazed at how all these athletes continue to get faster and faster and remain as consistent as they have been. What do you think we'll see at the World Championships this year? Do you think we'll see anyone else, either young or, who's been experienced and maybe he's going to pop back up? Do we think we'll see someone actually really step up at these Worlds or over the next couple years? Let me know what you think. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Always appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching.